Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Niara Alexis, and today I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to get your silk press. I'm already in that mindset prepping for silk press season and I'm ready for it to come. So I'm going to help you guys get ready for it in case you're wondering or you're struggling with your silk press. We're going to get you together, okay? So as I am doing my hair here, I'm using an anti-reversion product, which you might want to try one. This is one of the ones from Color Wow. It's their extra strength dream coat. And I'm just spraying that all throughout my hair. But the first tip, and I feel like it's the most important, is to make sure your hair is fully dry. I get a lot of comments with people saying like they'll do their silk press and then it frizzes up immediately, like within the hour. They haven't even left the house yet. And a lot of the times that could be because your hair is not fully bone dry and you're flat ironing over hair that's damp or partially wet. All that's gonna do is just like make the hair like straight for the moment, but it's not gonna fully straighten it because it's still wet. And once all that water is absorbed and it does dry, it frizzes and poofs back up. So make sure your hair is dry. You don't need a fancy blow dryer to do this. I'm using the GHD Helios, but you can use literally like a $10 blow dryer. I've been doing my silk presses for years now. I like to do it with a brush to make sure I'm fully combing through everything. And it also kind of helps like straighten and detangle everything before I actually get to straightening my hair. But whatever blow dryer you have, as long as it's blowing out hot air, I feel like that's another thing too. People will always ask me, can I use cool air? Can I use hot air? Personally, I feel like you should be using hot air or warm air at the coolest, but I don't blow dry my hair on cool. I don't do that. So if that's your ministry, you go right ahead. But I'm just telling you what has worked for me in the past and getting my silk presses perfected. So making sure your hair is 100% dry before you even start the straightening process is going to be very important. I also think it's important to note here that my hair is mostly natural at this point. For those of you that are just catching up with us, I have not made a decision yet, but I have grown out most of my relaxer because I wanted to switch over to Texlax. But now I'm kind of hemming and hawing about what I want to do. So just FYI, but I was able to get these results on my mostly natural hair. So if you're curious, like, does it work on natural hair, relaxed hair? My hair is basically natural at this point, and these tips still work for me. So my next tip is using lightweight products. I always get asked about what products to use. My hair's too heavy, my hair's too greasy, it doesn't move or have any shine or bounce or anything like that. And a lot of times it's because you guys are using products that are too heavy, and adding on to that, you're using too much product. Okay, you want to use just the right amount of product so that it can fully absorb into the hair. It's not sitting on top of the hair. That's what causes the hair to be weighed down. But it should also be a lightweight product. So think of things that are like water-based. If you're using a leave-in, making sure you're not overcompensating and using way more than you really need to use. Right here I'm using the Verb Hydrate oil, and I just did 2 little drops per side of my head, and I'm fully working that in. As you can see, don't just slap it on and go. Really work it into your hair so that it can get into the hair shaft, into the hair follicle. It's not sitting on top of the hair and it's not weighing the hair down. So lightweight products are going to be your friend when you are doing your silk press. Now the next thing I want to touch on is the sections that you guys are working in, because if you're using fat chunky sections, there's no wonder that your silk press is not silken, babe. Okay, you need to work in smaller sections. The smaller the better. If you're natural, you're probably going to need to use sections that are really skinny. If you're relaxed or you have some sort of chemical treatment that like loosens up your curl pattern, you can probably work in sections that are a little bit bigger. But for the most part, everyone should be working in thin, small sections. Think back to like when you watch these stylists do like, you know, the silk presses and stuff on Instagram or TikTok. You never see them moving in big chunks. You know, they're moving in small, thin sections, parting the hair and everything. And that's how I want you to work too. Small, thin sections are going to be your friend so that you can get all of the hair, because when you're using those thick, fat sections to straighten your hair, you're not getting all the hair straight. And that's why it's not silky. But if it's not silky all the way to the end, you probably need to go ahead and start chasing your hair. I use something called a chasing comb. I get asked about this literally every single time I share it, either here or on TikTok or on Instagram. And it's basically just a little comb that I use, and it helps to comb out the hair all the way to the end so that my ends get all the way straight. You can do this with a regular comb as well, but I just find this one holds a little bit better. And a little sneak peek, I might have some of these available for purchase for you guys this silk press season. Just wait and see. But chasing your ends is really gonna help get that hair silky all the way down to the ends, because honestly, I don't know what I was doing before I was using a chasing comb. Some people say they also use a brush, like a boar bristle brush and things like that. I've never tried a brush for real. So I don't know. Maybe that's something we'll try this year. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see me, experiment with using the brush. But I always use a comb. So either a regular rat tail comb, something like has small teeth. You're not going to use a wide tooth comb to do this. But the other question I get a lot on silk presses is, how do I get my root straight? Babe, you got a flat iron. You have to get up there to the root, okay? You're not going to be able to get your root straight if the flat iron is not touching it. And you see these faces I'm making and the steam that's coming off that flat iron? Yeah, it's hot. A lot of y'all say, well, I'm afraid to burn myself, or I'm afraid like it's going to be too hot and whatnot. Well, if it's too hot, then get out the kitchen, babe. I'm sorry, I'm for real though. You gotta get up there to the root. Like, there's no other way to do it. When they do your hair in the salon, or you see these stylists doing it on Instagram or whatever, they're not starting mid shaft. You have to start the flat iron at the root. And I will say, maybe I've grown accustomed to it, because I can damn near put this flat iron on my forehead right now and it doesn't really bother me. But you are gonna have to get your flat iron all the way up to the root, okay? I'm sorry to tell you, but that's just what you gotta do. Now, these are just 5 tips that I feel like are very fundamental, but if you need a little bit more help, I do have a silk press guide where I walk you through my entire process from start to finish, from the wash, the condition, everything, in order to get your silk press, help maintain the silk press, all those things. So if you're interested and you need a little bit more help, I will have that link down below in the description for you guys, as well as some of my favorite products. This flat iron that I'm using here today is the GHD Chronos. If you have been on my channel before, you know that that is my favorite. I actually have a new GHD tool. They just came out with a curling iron that they just sent me that I cannot wait to try this silk press season. But I also want you guys to let me know in the comments too, like if there's anything in particular you want me to try or you need help on, because I'm starting to plan out the silk press videos for you guys. So let me know in the comments what you want to see. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful and you're getting ready for silk press season 2. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.